behind me, in the middle of the ocean, I hear a voice that said, "Ask for help." Very soft voice. And I looked back and I was like, "What?" And I said, "This maybe is my imagination." So I tried to swim again. And then I heard for the second time, "Ask for help." In that moment, a huge wave came and crushed me under the ocean. When I was under the ocean, I opened my eyes, and far, far away, I see a huge shadow that's coming my way. I was like, "Oh my God, shark." So I covered my face, just waiting for the bite. When I opened my eyes, in front of me, I'm in heaven. So this is like an infinitive golf course. I felt the grass that it was just cut, so I could feel the smell of the grass. The green of the grass was amazing. The sky was beautiful. And in front of me, there was millions of people dressed in white robes. And everybody was glowing. One of the questions that I asked to Jesus in heaven was, who you really are. Another question, yes, what is the true religion? And he said,
This is Beyond with Heather Tesch, where we examine near-death experiences and life itself, hopefully making this life a little better.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am so thrilled to introduce my guest today. Hello, Carlos Vivas.
Hello, Heather. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. It is great to have you here. We met a few weeks ago, and you're just such a beautiful soul. And I'm just so happy that you're willing to come on my show and share not just really one miraculous thing, but you really had several miraculous things happening to you. So I'm really excited about that. So let's start, though, I guess sort of at the beginning, but you were caught in a rip current.
Yes.
And then you had a miraculous rescue. So take us to that day.
Okay, well, let me thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Heather, for inviting me to your program. I'm really glad to be here. And yes, let me tell you what happened to me. So this was in 2015. It happened on Memorial Day 2015. Some friends invited me to Panama City Beach in Florida. And we traveled there. When we arrived, it was so many people on every part that we were, it was packed, that at the end I told my friends, you know what, let's go to a national park. It's called San Andreas State Park. And from there you get a boat and take you to an island. It's called Shell Island. And it's going to be better than all these parks that are full. So we traveled to Shell Island. And when we arrived there, the bayside was full of people. So I told my friends, we were 7. I said, you know what? Let's walk to the backside of the island because it's going to be less people there. You know, it's open ocean. So we walked to the back of the island. When we were back into the back of the island, we were walking to the back of the island. There was a guy half away that said, excuse me, where are you guys going? I said, sir, we're going to the other side of the island, open ocean. I said, you know, it's very dangerous because there is nobody there. I said, sir, I've been coming here for 10 years. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Okay, just be careful. So that was a red flag right there. Anyways, we continued walking. We arrived to the other side. Guess what? There was nobody there. So my friends and me, we found a place. We opened a canopy. As soon as we opened the canopy, trying to put it together, and the wind started blowing really hard, and the canopy opens like a parachute. So for 45 minutes, we're trying to put this canopy, and the wind is going left and right, and we couldn't put it out until a friend of mine brings some rocks and put it in every corner of the canopy, and the canopy stands still right there. So we're still there from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. We put the chairs, drinks, food, music, and we spent all day there. Around 4 p.m., my friend said, Carlos, we want to walk around the island because the island is going to close at 5:30. I said, okay, guys, this is a circle. So it's going to take you like 30 minutes, I guess, to go around the circle. Be here in 45 minutes because we need to pack everything and go back to the boat. So, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to stay here. You guys go. So they left. I was by myself. And then it started getting really hot. And I said to myself, I'm just going to swim because it's too hot right now. So I'm not afraid to swim because since I was a child, I used to be on a swimming team. And I'm just love the water. So I just jump into the water. But when I get into the shore, I feel some holes at the beginning of the shore. I was like, what is this hole? The holes was saying that something bad was happening right there. was riptide for me, but I didn't know at that time what a riptide was. So I continued walking, and then I started swimming, and out of the sudden, this current came under the water, grabbed me, and pulled me far, far away. So it was like a whirlpool under the water that just sucked me and threw me like, I don't know, half a mile, a mile and a half away from the island. So the way that I tell people how this happened, if you see the movie Finding Nemo, you can see a tunnel that grab the fishes from the base side and throw it far, far away. I was in the same tunnel, so the tunnel threw me far away. So when I get out of the water, seconds later, I look through the island. The island was like this small. I was like, how in the world I'm here? I need to go back. So I'm trying to say, like, okay, Carlos, don't panic. Just swim back. So I start swimming back, swimming back, swimming back. As soon as I put my head out of the water, I'm even farther away. I was like, what? What's going on? Oh my God. So I go into the water, trying to swim even faster, put my head out of the water in the same place. Why? I was in the center of the riptide. And it was like I was swimming against the current. And that moment, after fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting with the riptide, and I was going nowhere, after almost 30 minutes, I say, okay, you know what? This is it. There is no way I'm going to get out of here. And in this moment, I'm going to go. This is it. So I look to heaven and say, okay, God, I never thought that today is going to be my last day. But if you want to take me, I'm ready. But before I go, I want to tell you something. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sisters. Thank you for everything you gave me. And I'm sorry if I did something wrong. In that moment, behind me, in the middle of the ocean, I hear a voice that said, ask for help. Very soft voice. And I looked back and I was like, what? And I said, this maybe is my imagination. So I tried to swim again. And then I heard for the second time, ask for help. And I looked back and I was like, you really are here? Like, where are you at? Could you please help me? Look, I'm drowning here. Please help me. Nothing. And then for the third time, when I'm trying to swim again, I heard the third time it said, I told you to ask for help. And I was like, oh my God, don't you see that it's impossible for me in a million years? Nobody's going to listen to me, okay? But okay, I'm going to ask for help. So I started screaming, help, 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 help. At the end of the island, one of my friends came out of the group because he felt something was wrong. He went back to the tent where I was. He didn't saw me there. He was walking around the beach. He didn't saw me anywhere around. And then he saw a hill, so he went, it was rocks. So he climbed all the rocks and went to the top of the hill. And then from there he saw me, so he started screaming, Carlos, here, I'm going to call 911. Hold on. In that moment, I said, okay. I couldn't hear what he was saying. I just see like a little ant jump, right? He didn't call 911. He went back to the other side of the island when people was boarding the boats to go back to Panama City. And he brought a lot of people. So 6 guys gone to the top of the rocks, and they jumped from the rocks to the ocean, and everybody was coming my way. And in that moment, I said, okay, thank you, God, thank you. They're going to save me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 10 minutes later, I hear a thunder behind me. Boom. And when I look back, the sky is turning black, and I see lightnings around. I was like, oh my God, thunderstorm. And when I look in front of me again, everybody's turning around. So everybody's leaving me there. Of course, nobody's going to risk their life with this thunderstorm, and the riptide. So when they were leaving, at that moment, I said, okay, God, you know what? If they're going to leave me here, I guess I'm ready. I'm just going to surrender. And every time that I go to surrender, I make a pause here just to let you know, there is so many times in life that we're fighting with our family, with our mom or dad or sons, or school, jobs, with cancer, and anything. And the only thing that we need to do is surrender. When we surrender, we let the divine, we let God take over instead of us, and then miracles happen. At the moment I say I surrender completely, just do whatever you have to do. I'm not going to fight anymore. In that moment, a huge wave came and crushed me under the ocean. When I was under the ocean, I opened my eyes. I'm far, far away. I see a huge shadow that's coming my way. I was like, oh my God, charge. So I covered my face, just waiting for the bite. But this thing came under me, grabbed me by my stomach, and pushed me all the way up. And when I get out of the water, guess what it was? It was a huge gray dolphin. So I'm like, whoa, whoa. So I start crying. I couldn't believe this dolphin saving my life. At this point, I don't have any other options but hold on to the dolphin. So he put his uh, back, like lay down on the back. So I grab him. And in that moment, I saw his eyes. And I was just crying like crazy. And I look his eyes like, how do you save me? Like, how? How do you know that I'm dying here? And in that moment, we did a connection with our eyes. And in that moment, what I could see was compassion coming from his eyes. I don't know, maybe you have a bird or you have a dog or you have a cat and you can see through their eyes and they almost can talk to you every time that they see you and they put their beautiful face, you know. So in that moment, what I felt from this with this dolphin was almost telepathical. Like the dolphin was telling me, Carlos, don't worry about it. I'm here. Nothing's gonna happen. That's what I felt. So I felt like peace all over me. I was hanging up the dolphin by the tail for like the next 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, a feature boat came in front of me. And then this guy's like, son, I can save you, but I cannot get close to you because the wave from the thunderstorm, they're so big. I'm going to hit you with my boat. I'm going to throw you a rope. You coming from where you are to here, right? So I grab the rope and I go straight to this guy. And as soon as I get there, the dolphin is still next to me. I just grab some air because I've been there for almost 45 minutes. I was like, oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the guy started screaming at me, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I said, like, sir, let me breathe. I'm very, very tired. I've been here for a long time. I said, like, no, 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 you need to come right now. Get inside of the boat. I said, like, sorry, let me breathe. They're like, no, we don't have time. I said, why? I said, my boat is sinking. I said, your boat is sinking. What happened? I said, I have a pump, and the pump stopped. So all the waves are coming inside of my boat, and my boat is getting floated. So could you please go to the back? You're going to see some steps in the water and jump in. Okay, so I went to the back, see the steps, and I jump in. As soon as I jump in, I see the boat is like this full of water. So I said, sir, do you have a bucket? I take the water out. I said, no, no, I don't have a bucket. And right now, you need to sit down next to me. We need to get out of here. We don't have time. So I sit down next to him. He put a towel over me. And then he started driving around the island. He asked me, are you okay? I said, yes, sir, I'm fine. What happened? I said, I don't know. A big whirlpool came and threw me right here. I don't know what happened. I said, that's a riptide. And let me ask you another question. Where's your family and friends? Everybody's there waiting for me. Nobody could save me. Like, nobody could get me. And then he said, now, let me ask you another question. Where are you from? I said, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. And we're in Florida, right? And he said, yeah, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, too. What part? I said, I'm from Duluth. What about you, sir? I said, I'm from Norcross. I said, what? We're neighbors. I was like, what? This is crazy. And in that moment, he started screaming, like, oh, my God, oh, my God. I'm like, what? Look behind you, look behind you. So when I looked behind me, the dolphin was following us behind the boat. And he was like, oh, my God, this is amazing. Oh, my God. So he's going around the island. This dolphin is following us. And when we get to the bay side, nobody was at the bay side because everybody was at the other side of the island, just trying to rescue me. And then the guy said, okay, son, I have to leave you right here because I have to fix my boat. But if you want to see me again, every Memorial Day, I'm going to come back here. So God bless you. I give her a hug. Thank you for saving my life. And I jump off the boat. When I'm walking, the ocean in that part of the island was low. And I start walking to the shore. And I'm crying. And then something hit my leg. When I look back, the dolphin was behind me. I was like, what? Like, how this is happening? Like, what? So I start crying. The dolphins look at me the same, like, I'm down, I'm here. So I go all the way to the shore. I go on my knees when I get to the shore and say, okay, God, I'm done. I'm done. You know? I mean, you saved me with this dolphin. It's because you have a purpose for my life. I really don't know what you want from me. But I'm going to tell you something. From this moment, I give you my life. I give you my soul. I give you everything I have. Because you have something that I don't know. From this moment, Carlos died into the ocean. The person who's coming out of the water is going to be you. From this moment, I just word through me. Whatever you want to do it through me. And in that moment, it was lightning, thundering, and it started raining over me. The dolphin left. My friends coming from the other side of the island, everybody started hugging me and crying. They take me back to San Andreas State Park. Then the management asked me what happened. I told them, well, what happened? I have a red flag. I mean, this riptide took me, you know. Anyways, after that, everybody that came from the island, my friends, but the people that was on the boat, everybody asked me, what are you going to do now? I said, I need to go to a church. I need to give thanks to God because this was a miracle. So we get out of the parking lot and we start driving to the closest church. And we found a Catholic church. I call Fatima because they have Virgin Fatima outside. When we're trying to get inside, as soon as we parked, we're trying to get inside of the church was closed, but outside of the church was a chapel and a big garden. So everybody that came from the island, plus my friends, we did a big circle in this garden and we hug each other. We start praying. We prayed for 20 minutes. After that, we went back to the hotel. I took a shower, get something to eat, and I was ready to take a nap. So I put my head on my pillow, and in that moment, I have an epiphany. In this epiphany, it was like a vision. I never had one, so I thought it was a dream. So in this vision, I opened my eyes. I grabbed in some wood. How do you call that? I was on the top of a carnival cruise, and I was grabbing the handrails. There was wooden handrails. In front of me was blue ocean, blue skies, very sunny day. But at the end of the ocean, I see a tsunami rising, a huge wave coming my way. And in that moment, I said, you know what? This is it. And when I see this wave coming to me, I said, this is it. I'm in the middle of the ocean. There is no way to run. So I cover my face and I wait for the impact. 10, 15, 30 minutes, nothing happened until somebody come behind me. It's like, hey, look at me. And I said, like, no, we're about to die. And I said, like, look at me, please. I said, look, we're about to die. And he said, you're never going to die. And I said, who are you? Look at me. And I was afraid when I looked back, but in that moment, I just turned my face like very slow going back. I want to see is this guy, like 6'5", tall guy, and he was with a white robe, and from his face was coming his light. And he said, close your eyes, please. So I closed my eyes. He hugged me from behind. And then he said, 10 seconds later, open your eyes. So I opened my eyes. And he said, welcome. When I opened my eyes, in front of me, I'm in heaven. So this is like an infinitive golf course. I felt the grass that it was just cutted, so I could feel the smell of the grass. The green of the grass was amazing. The sky was beautiful. And in front of me, there was millions of people dressed in white robes. And everybody was glowing. And I was like, oh my God, this means that I'm dead? And I looked back and said, like, are you Jesus, right? Like, Jesus, I cannot die right now. I need to go back. I have a lot to do. And he said, yes, you're not dead right now. You're in the middle. And the reason that you're here is because you make a promise to me. So when I was 13 to 14 years old, I was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And after the doctor sent me home because they couldn't cure my leukemia, I was suffering at that moment. I was at home by myself. And I said to God, like, look, God, there have to be another way to get saved. I studied in a Catholic school, and they said there is a God that if you pray from the bottom of your heart, you can save me. So if you're really ready and you are out there, please help me. Let's make a deal. What about, like I said, I was a kid. What about if you save me from this cancer, and I promise you, and I'm going to tell the whole world that you exist if you save me, because I'm going to be the living proof that you saved me, Guess what? 3 months later, the cancer disappeared, and I've been in remission ever since. So in that moment, said, do you remember that promise? I said, yeah, I know, but I was 13 to 14 years old. I didn't know who to tell, I said, well, this is the time that you're going to tell the world about me. I was like, okay. And then he said, do you have any other questions? I said, yes. Where all these people come from? It's millions of people. I said, they're coming from all over the world. Another question? Said, yes. What is the true religion? And he said, the only thing that I can tell you is when you come to heaven, there is no religions. What you're going to find in heaven is love. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. And that's what you're going to find right here. Now, let me give you a life review. So he hugged me and he grabbed the other hand, do like this. And on the sky, like a Macintosh computer, a lot of screens start rolling all over the sky. And I started seeing my life flashing from I was a baby until right now. But the most important lesson that I get from this live review, it was that every time that we open our mouth and we treat somebody bad, our words have power and they affect another people, you know? So he said, look, I'm going to show you the good thing that you did and the wrong things that you did, you know? And I want you to feel every time that you say something bad to a person, how the person was feeling, because your words have weight over the other person. So I'm going to put you in his soul, so you're going to feel the pain that that person is feeling. So when you come back, you can tell people, don't do that, because people suffer for what you're doing, what you're saying with your mouth. So I saw all of that, and then, okay, you're ready to go. But before I go, I want you to give this message to humanity. I said, what is it? And he said, well, the message is, in order for people to continue living on planet Earth, they need to forgive. I said, they need to forgive who? He said, well, they need to forgive three people. Three people. Who are they? Number one, they need to forgive their parents. Because your parents, when they were raising you, they didn't have a manual to raise you. They did the best they could to give you the best you have. It doesn't matter if they mistreating you, they abandoned you, they abuse you, whatever they did to you, they did the best they could to give you the best you have. Number two, you need to forgive your inner child. Why? Because whatever happened when you was a child, you was scared, you was afraid, you didn't know where to go. And it's moment that you grab that kid that we all have inside of our heart and hug them and say, you know what? You are safe and protected with me. And the number three is every person that came to your life to harm you. Could be family members, could be friends, could be ex, any person that came to your life. Why? When you forgive your parents, your inner child, and the people that came to your life to harm you, you're not forgiving them. You're forgiving yourself. From that moment, you open your heart and you throw away all the hate, all the resentment, and all the poison that's been hitting you for years. That's the poison that later become cancer or become another illnesses because get trapped inside of your body. So it's time for you to open your heart and throw it out. It's like you have a balloon with a string. You cut the string and let the balloon go. And in that moment, you're free. And when you are free is when Jesus told me, in that moment is when you start using what I give to every human being, your gifts. And what is your gift? Your gift is your purpose. What is your purpose? Very simple. It's the only thing that you do better than anybody else. Maybe you cook amazing, or maybe you sing amazing, or maybe you're an amazing sportman. You know your qualities and you know what you're good for because everybody tells you all the times. You don't want to listen. Just like, it's okay, don't worry. But in reality, you're good because God gave you that gift to you. If you don't want to serve with that gift, the second gift is called service. Why service? Because when you die from this world, you're not taking anything. You're not going to take your house. You're not going to take your money. You're not going to take your titles. You're not going to take your cars, your Bitcoin. You're not going to take anything. You have a Steve Jobs from Apple. Well, he took billions of dollars he had. Did he took anything? No. So what you're going to take with you is how many people you help, how many people you give shelter, how many people you give food, how many lives you change. Look, Mother Teresa of Calcutta, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Princess Diana, Martin Luther King, what they did was service, and their service continues till today. Now I ask you this question to you. What are you doing today to leave a legacy and a blueprint on earth that can help another people after you're gone from this plane? What is that blueprint of love that you're going to leave between your coworkers, your family, your friends, and going to continue on after you're leaving this world? Look, when the time comes and God comes for you and he asks you, okay, time is over. It's time to go home. So it was worth it for you to go to earth? You proudly said, yes, God. Let me show you how many people I helped, and let me show you all the good that I did for others. And that's my story, Heather.
It's such an incredible story, and I have a lot of questions about it.
Sure.
Real quick, because this was an interesting aspect too,
Sure.
is right after it happened, it's
Hmm.
always nice to get confirmations.
Yes.
And you were at work and you had to go check on a job site.
Yes.
I believe because maybe another worker had broken something or
Yes.
something,
Yeah.
and then you got a confirmation.
Yes.
Share that real quick with us.
So I was working for more than 20 years as a quality assurance manager for a service company. And my job was just checking the quality of the job, right? So I go to this customer, she called my office and said, look, one of your guys broke a lamp, a gold lamp on my basement. Is there any way you can come to my house and fix it or buy me a new one? So sure. So I go to this lady. I'd never been in her house. And she was cooking. And she said, Carlos, I'm cooking. I'm busy right now. Is there any way that you can go to the basement? And at the end of the basement, just turn the lights. You're going to go through a hallway. And at the end of the hallway, you will see at the end the lamp, the gold lamp. So sure. So I just go down the basement. The lady's upstairs. I start turning the lights. But when I get to the last room, I turn the light. I see the lamp on the corner. But as soon next to the lamp, it was this huge painting on the wall. It was the same scene that I saw in heaven. Jesus was standing in front of heaven with millions of people behind him. He was standing in heaven, but his feet were on water, and around the water were dolphins around him. And as soon as I see that, I was like, how in the world? So what just happened to me wasn't a dream. This was real. This is a confirmation. This was very overwhelming for me because in that moment I understood like, oh my God, this is happening for a reason. So I started crying because it was very overwhelming. The lady came and said, like, what happened to you, Carlos? Oh my God, is something happened? You fell? Like, no, I'm fine. And she come, what's going on? So she come with me and said, like, excuse me, where did you get this painting? It's impossible. I was there like 3 days ago. So I told the story. And she said, well, 3 years ago, a friend of my family came here with this huge canvas and did this painting. We didn't have any other place to put this painting, and that's why we put it in the basement. And I was like, well, that painting right there, I was right there with Jesus 3 days ago. And you got it right here in the basement. So this is a confirmation for me. And yeah, it was my first confirmation of many, 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 many confirmations. I just want to let you know it took me 5 years to grasp what happened to me, to ask so many questions, to go to the rabbit hole to see if any other person had what happened to me. I never heard the term near death experience. I never heard anybody that was going through what I was going. So when I made sure before I shared my story that people could believe what I was saying, and I need confirmations. And from that moment, I was asking God, like, God, please, if this is real, show me physically. I need to see with my eyes confirmation. And oh my God, start like flood of miracles and miracles and miracles. And I was crying because I was like, oh my God, I need people to see this. Oh my God. And it was 5 years of overwhelming miracles. And until today, I still having miracles. And right now I'm writing 2 more books. One is called I Found Jesus in Vegas. It's a real story of how I didn't find him. He found me in Vegas. Beautiful story. And the other book is called Divine Miracles. So in these 2 books, I Found Jesus in Vegas is about all the miracles directed with Jesus, where he showed up and showed me stuff. And the other is all the miracles that Jesus is not there, but they're miracles. So I just want to share this with the world because I don't want to die with this music inside of my heart. People need to know that this is going on. And believe me, before all this happened, I was very skeptic, even that I was going to church, Catholic, and all this. But inside of myself, I was like, eh. And I think we all humans have this doubt, like, well, what about a little? Show me something, And definitely confirmation flowed to me. So that's why I get this path to tell my story to everybody. At the beginning, it was hard for me because when I was looking online, there's so many haters and people, and I was like, I don't want to go there. But people was telling me, Carlos, you need to share this message. People need to hear this. These are the times that people is looking for hope, and your message is a message of hope. Please share it. And after people insist and insist, and then you need to write a book. I said, I don't know how to write a book. And then I asked God, please, could you please send me something so I know that I have to write a book? And then a publisher showed up out of the blue. And I was like, okay. Everything has been magical. My story, it's still growing because it's still going on. So it's been beautiful, and it's been touching people from all over the world. And I'm glad. I'm just a regular person that work 9 to 5. But I have this incredible story that I can help people and give you hope, and that's what I feel good that I can share this story with everybody.
It's such an amazing story. Of course, your first book is called Help from Heaven, and we'll talk more about that in just a bit. I have questions about when you were in heaven, you're with Jesus. Jesus said, there's no religion in heaven, that the love of God is universal. So did he mean that there's no Catholic, Lutheran, Baptist, Methodist, or was it broader than that and extending beyond Christianity?
I think it's broader than that and beyond Christianity. And actually, I have another miracle that happened to me. That was in 2000. I think that was the same year, kind of in August. A spiritual teacher that came from India. I have some friends that they follow some teacher from India, and she was coming and they invited me, and I was like, okay, I go. I mean, I don't know who's this lady is. Her name is Amma. And when we arrived, it was in a convention center of Atlanta, and it was full. It was thousands of people there just to see this lady. I didn't know who she was. My friend, oh, she's really famous. She's amazing. Blah blah blah. She's the only saint alive. I'm like, okay. So when you get there, you get a ticket, and you're supposed to go to the stage. I mean, your ticket have a time, so you have like 1 minute to be in her presence, so she can bless you for your life. So I was like, okay. I tell my friend, look, okay, I go and I hug her, I guess. Yes. So it was on my birthday that year. So after the Dolphin story, I spent my birthday with this amazing lady. Her name Amma from India. And I didn't know she was like the new Mother Teresa because she's helping people from all over the world on earthquakes areas. People donate money to her, and she donate money back to disaster area all over the world. And she called Amma the hugger because she has been hugging in 2016 or 17. She hugged 35 million people at that time. Right now, maybe like 15 million people. I don't know. But she goes all over the world doing this. Anyways, I go to the stage, 2 a.m. in the morning, 1:30 a.m. in the morning. When my turn arrived, I go to the stage. There is a lot of people, bodyguards and stuff, and I go with her. And she blessed me and said, God bless you. Thank you for coming. She put me a chocolate in my mouth. She gave me an apple and says, anything special today? I said, yes, my birthday. She gave me a bunch of flowers. And she said, God want me to tell you that he's with you all the times. So she gave me a hug, and I go down the stage, right? And there they have huge screens, like movie screens, so people can watch you when you go to the stage with her. They have 2 big screens on the sides of the stage. So I go with my friends. I get friends that invite me, and then my friends say, "Okay, let's get out of here. Let's go." And they were with me in my car. So as soon as we start walking to the exit of the convention center in Atlanta. I don't know if you know, the convention center is across the street from the airport, Atlanta airport. So when the doors open, the glass doors open at 1:30 a.m. That was 2015, June 29, 2015. You can look at it on Google and you will see what happened. So when the doors open, the whole floor of the parking lot illuminate yellow. And I was like, what in the world is this? So my friends look at me and go, I don't know what's going on. And then everybody's like, oh, look to the sky, look to the sky. So we looked up, and there were like 9 huge balls of fire coming from the sky. You can Google it. It's everywhere. And I have the video from the news channel. I'm going to send to you. So these balls start crossing the sky and they start illuminating everything. And we're like, oh. So people start running through the parking lot like chickens, oh my God, oh my God. I didn't know where meteors. I look in front of me, I see the airplane, I said, oh my God, this is an airplane that explodes and all this fire is coming down and now we're going to get burned right here, So I run to my car, my friends too. We get into my car. In that moment, all the yellow, the light disappeared. And then we get into a car, oh my God, what was that? So I don't know, that's crazy. And then I start driving. My friends put the seatbelt, and then music start playing really loud inside of my car. was like, what is that music? Where did it come from? So I looked at the radio, and the radio is off. I said, the radio of the car is off. Like, where is this music coming? So my friend behind's like, it's not my phone. The friend next to me, it's not my phone. Like, let me pull over. Let me check my phone. So I pull over, and I have an Apple phone. And I have the screen, when it's blocked, you have the numbers to unblock the number. So I start unblocking the number, and under the numbers, there is a message. And the message was the same message that Jesus gave me in heaven. The love of God is universal and will never end. And the song that was playing, it was In the Name of Love by U2. My phone was completely, all the volume was completely total maximum volume, playing In the Name of Love by U2. And my friends, how you did that? And the phone was blocked, so I couldn't even unblock the phone. I said, I don't know who put the message there. The message was big. And I don't know how the music's playing because I never played that song here in my phone. And we were like, wow, I guess this is a confirmation of what's going on to you, So, yes.
So incredible. So the message, it just popped up on your phone?
Yes. It was big on a big screen, and it said, the love of God is universal and will never end.
So interesting.
And you can go online and Google what happened in Atlanta, Georgia, June 29, 2015 at 1:30 a.m. And you will see a report from NASA. They say it's like garbage from the space came through Earth, and they start burning when I get in the atmosphere. And in the video that I have from the news channel for Fox 5 Atlanta, that I got it right here, they said people from all over Atlanta, 1:30, like, what is this? Because they were huge, But when you record it with your phone, of course, it's like the sun of the moon. When you put it with your phone, that you see like a little dot. But these were huge ball of fire crossing all. And they crossed just the North Carolinas, Georgia, and part of Florida. They went through. So through all these states, people. So the most amazing thing for me is not the meteor. It was at the same moment that I was leaving that place, those meteors pass and illuminate everything. And then I got the message on my car. And then extra confirmation, In the Name of Love by U2.
So you met Jesus, and
Yes.
he was teaching you while you had this heavenly encounter, and
Yes.
you are still a follower of him. So
Yes.
If there's no religion, what role do you think Jesus plays?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to go into religion right now, but I just follow Jesus. I don't have to follow institutions. I just go to him,
Yeah.
One of the questions that I asked to Jesus in heaven was, who you really are. I'm just trying to resume the story so I don't go too far, but he said, I'm the light of the world. In order for mankind to understand who God is, the light have to take human form, and that's who I am. I'm the light of the world. It's like, oh my God, that's why people say God is the light of the world. Jesus is the light of the world. Oh, okay, you're light. And that's why I couldn't see your face, because you're light. And that was an aha moment for me in that moment. Love and light.
He also told you how important
Mm-hmm.
forgiveness was.
Yes.
He talked about forgiving your inner child, but
Yes.
I assume that extends to us as adults too. I mean, we're just supposed to forgive ourselves. Is that correct?
Yes. It's not an easy process, okay? This is an internal process that's going to take time. And, we cannot be the victims all our life. Oh, because I was a child and this happened to me, and we're going to be playing over and over and over again. When we were childs, it wasn't our fault. But as an adult, it's our responsibility to heal ourselves. So it's up to us to heal what happened, if anything happened to us in our childhood. So nobody's going to come to rescue. We need to rescue ourselves, And it's going to prayer, meditation, and to reflect about your life, who you really are, what are you doing here, how you can help other people. And you are a good soul, and you deserve to be in peace. And you deserve to put your gift to the world. And in order to do that, you need to heal yourself before it starts shining and giving your gift away. You need to save yourself first and then save another people. You know the story that is cliche and everybody say it all the time, when you're on an airplane and the airplane is turning down, it's coming down, and the air pilot said, before you help the person next to you, put the oxygen mask on yourself and then put it on the person next to you and your child or the person next to you. You need to save yourself and then the rest. So you need to do your inner work first and then help other people. Because you're not doing anything. You're still broken inside and trying to help. There is no reason, So heal yourself first and then anybody else.
He also talked about our purpose.
Yes.
And what stood out to me here is he said, use the gifts you have, the things that you're good at, that's what you should do. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was young, and this is when I wanted to get into broadcasting and meteorology, and it seemed like such a big goal, and it's what I loved. And I thought, well, what if God wants me to do something else? And I think we have to realize that God wants us to do what we love, what we're passionate about.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Like on my book, I talk about life is like a spider web. You don't understand what certain events plays around you, but everything is perfectly aligned. If you start studying your life, you say, oh, if I didn't have this accident, this will never happen. If I never travel this place, I never meet this person, and then this person didn't connect me with this person, and then this job, and this job connect me with this. It's a dots that's going to be united one by one. So I believe that little by little, your purpose is going to be unrolling in front of you. And it's up to you to say yes or no because you have your free will. It's up to you to follow your heart. But if you don't, I believe if you don't follow your gift, you're going to be unhappy because your gift is what you do happily without even receive pain,
He also talked about service toward others. By the way, Bubby has decided he's going to come and show his face here. He talked about service to others, and people can read your bio because I'll have it in the description, but you certainly are doing so many things to serve others. But that brings me to your story of what happened in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So why don't you tell us that real quick?
Okay, what happened in Las Vegas was my dad was turning like 80 years old, closer to 80. So my sister called me and said, hey, let's take Dad to Vegas so he loved the shows on Discovery Channels, antique shows and people putting these antique cars together and we can take it to where they do all this. I said, sure, let's take it. So with me and my sister and my dad, we traveled to Vegas. And I've been in Vegas so many times. So I said, I'll be your tour guide, guys. I take you everywhere. So we get to a hotel and said, you know what, let's start doing the tours. So I rent a car and I start taking my dad to all the tours for the cars, for antiques and all this. And we stayed 1 week. And every day after doing the tours, I was driving to Sedona, to Arizona, to Grand Canyon to show my dad the beauty of this nation, beautiful. The last day, my dad said, Carlos, tomorrow we need to, it was Sunday, it was Saturday through Sunday. My dad said, remember to wake up early because we need to give the car to the rent-a-car. And I said, Dad, I want to wake up early because I love to take pictures of the sunrise in the morning. And my dad said, okay, but wake up very early because we need to leave the hotel at night. I said, okay. Next morning, I wake up early, make some coffee. My dad wake up, I give coffee to him, coffee to me. I put in the news and say, okay, I'm going to be checking you here. That's fine, Dad. So he said, if you need anything, call me. I said, yeah, I got my phone and my coffee. So I go down the stairs. We stay in a hotel called Treasure Island, where they have the pirates and stuff. I go all the way down. And there was like 3 people at the lobby, 6 a.m. on Sunday. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to take a walk and see how the sunrise comes. So I start walking, my coffee, nice. But then I start looking to the street and I noticed something that I never seen before during the day because there's so many people walking on the street. There are rivers of people walking up and down. It was homeless. It was homeless everywhere. And I was like, wow. And in that moment, it hit me. I said, like, God, like how these homeless are dying in front of this amazing hotel. These are multimillionaire hotels. And these people is everywhere dying right here. Like, how in the world you do this? Like, why you don't help them? Like, what are you doing? But all this was inside of my head. I continue walking, taking pictures of the buildings and stuff. 45 minutes passed. My dad called me on my phone, like, Carlos, where you at? We need to start packing. I said, oh my God, Dad, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, let me turn around. So I hang up the phone with him. I cross the street to the other side, and I start walking back to the hotel. When I start walking back, behind me, I heard some wooden shoes on the concrete. Wooden shoes are very noisy, right? So I hear this person behind me start walking a little bit slow. Then I was like, this person is following me. So I start walking a little bit faster, and this person start walking a little bit faster. I was like, oh Lord. I start running, and this person start running. So at that moment, I throw my coffee in a garbage can, run. I got just my phone. This person start running behind me. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I was just running on the street looking to see if I see any door open of a casino or restaurant or anything. 6 a.m. on Sunday. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Everything was closed. I was like, Jesus. So I get at the end of the street and I see escalators go up, right? And there is a bridge to go to the other side of the street. So I jump into the escalator. This person jumped behind me. I was like, oh, he's going to get me. He's going to steal my phone, I guess, because I don't have anything else right now. So I run to the top of the bridge and he's running behind me. I was like, oh my God, I need to hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And when I get to the top of the bridge that I jump off the stair, I look to my left and I see full of homeless. This bridge was full of homeless. I'm like, oh my God, here too, help these people. So I have to run because I know this guy's going to get me. And I start running. When I'm half away of the bridge, the guy screamed at me, stop right there, and raise your hands up, please. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. I was like, sir, please. My family's waiting for me. Like, what are you doing? I was like, sir, don't kill me, please. Please. And then he said, look, Carlos. And I was like, what? I cannot do anything for these people. And this moment, I didn't want to see who was behind me, okay? I cannot help these people because that's what I sent you here. You're going to be my hands and you're going to be my eyes. And you're going to help them. And in this moment, I just pee my pants because, like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? I start shaking and I slowly start turning around. And what I see is that this executive guy, he was a white guy, blue eyes, red hair. He was dressed like a green, like a tuxedo with a white t-shirt, black tie. And he looked at me and he said, I'm going to be watching you. You better do good, okay? And I was like, what in the world is going on? All the homeless were watching me and watching him. And I was like, I don't know what's going on here. And then out of the blue, the guy shakes. And the guy's like, what happened? What happened? So what I feel in that moment, he was channeling Jesus. So he was like a prophet in saying what he was feeling from Jesus. And in that moment, he looked at me and was like, what's going on? I was like, and I just run away from the bridge and I just crying like on the street and people was watching me, just crying and running to my hotel. And I get to a hotel and I say like, Dad, let's get out of here, please. Like, this is too much for me to handle right now. But it was beautiful. And that left me on profound reflection all day. Like, what I need to do. So as soon as I get to Atlanta, I start looking for places that help people. That's how I found Food for Lives. And Food for Life is one of the biggest organizations all over the world helping homeless. And we have Food for Life Atlanta. And from that moment, I start serving at Food for Life. So we serve like between 300 to 500 meals, Saturdays and Sundays in downtown Atlanta. And a park is called Woodruff Park. And anybody can come. We used to have a 7,000 square foot kitchen in Midtown. But we have to give it away because the rent for that huge building went to the roof, and we have to leave it away. So right now, what we're doing is we have a page like WhatsApp group, and we put there everybody that's coming to our service, and we put like, okay, guys, we have a web page too. On the web page, we put like, okay, for this Saturday, we need rice, we need pasta, we need this. They serve only vegetarian food because they don't want to bring any meat So they put a list who can bring water, who can bring bread, who can bring cookies and desserts, and they can bring juice and stuff. So people, oh, I bring the juice, I bring the water. So everybody get together, and we show up in the middle of the Woodruff Hour at 12 noon every Saturday and Sunday, and we put like 3 or 4 big long tables, and we do a service like catering, and people already notice that we're going to that place, a square, and we have a lineup of hundreds of people, and it's nice because when you're serving people, it's not just to serve. When you serve, you ask them too. Like you can go to the side, say, "Hey, how you doing? How you feel?" And then you're gonna start listening to stories. Like people that is there, they're engineers, architects, doctors that they just give up in life because really hard event came to their life and they just abandoned everything and they went to the streets. But don't you think that everybody that is homeless there is just because something really dramatic happened in their life, and that's when they went to the streets. But they are human, we go into the streets and we tend to do not look these people because like, oh, but no, they're really, really human. What God told me was help them, give them your hands, because they need to be seen. They need love, and we need to give love to these people.
So beautiful what you're doing, and what a great organization. I will have a link to that in the description along with all of your other links. Carlos, you are just such an amazing person. You are doing such beautiful things in this world. And I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to meet you recently and then to talk to you today and have you share this with my audience. You truly are a wonderful person.
Well, I want to say thanks to you because you're doing this to make people aware that these events are happening. Like I said, it took me 5 years to come to the light and tell people what was going on. And then I found out that near-death experience, 1 in every 10 Americans have a near-death experience, so it's more common than what you think. And then every time that I go to an event, I said to people, raise your hand if you have a near-death experience. And believe me, a lot of people raise their hands. But when I asked, have you ever said your story to somebody? And they were like, no, because they think they're going to be crazy. And that's why people is scared to tell, But because of my promise, I said, God, this is the time. And believe me, I never, like, you came to my life and people is sending me people. I'm not looking for nobody. People is coming and I have an interview from all over the world. And it's good. So my manager, I guess, is God. Just like, okay, you make this promise. Now I'm going to send you people and you have to tell your story. And that's it, and helping with your work.
I love that. My manager is God. That's great. And of course, you have your book, Help from
Yes,
Heaven, which is
right here.
It's just a beautiful, beautiful book. And then also people can reach out to you at helpfromheaven.org. Is that correct?
Yes. Or www.carlosvivas.org too.
Oh, okay. So both of those are working?
Yes.
Okay.
carlosvivas.org or www.helpfromheaven.org. On Facebook, I have my page that I have 113,000 people. It's called Beyond Near-Death Experiences. And I created that page to advertise my book, but now the page grew up more than 100,000. I never expect that. So
that's just incredible. And I think it's because of your manager.
Yes. And I don't know if I told you, but the first time that I went to church to tell my story, 15 years old raised her hands, excuse me, how Jesus was? I said, he was behind me. What he was doing? I said, he was hugging me. How he was dressing? He was dressed in a white robe. Why? And then she came with this image. Let me show you here. So it was like this. I said, yep, it was exactly like that. And
she had that on the back of her jacket.
Yes, she had it on the back of the jacket, painted. I was like, yeah, it was exactly like that. And then I went home after the service and I Googled this image, and it was created by Thomas Blackshire, an American painter, and come with the story that in 1992, he started doing fasting and praying, asking God, I want to paint your image so people can, every time that they're going through something really bad, cancer, or they lose everything in their life, they know that you're there to help them. And he want to be a clear channel to channel Jesus. And after 2 weeks of drinking water and praying, he started doing the painting. And doing the painting, halfway, that's when God said, you now need to write a book and show the people what is the meaning of this painting. And this painting signifies of the glory of God and how God is helping people. It's called Forgiveness by Thomas Butcher. And it's another confirmation.
And of course, that is how you were hugged from behind.
And another thing that happened to me after that, my sister was calling me. I was entering to Walmart in Decatur. My sister said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Like nothing. I'm just going to get some groceries." I said, "I want you to get home and watch this movie. It's called The Letters by Mother Teresa." I said, "The Letters? What letters?" I said, "Well, before Mother Teresa died, she wrote some letters to God. And it's happening what is happening to you. So I want you to watch the movie." I said, "Okay, when I get home, I watch it." I got my sister on the phone. The glass doors of Walmart open. Guess who's coming out? 3 nuns of Mother Teresa. I was like, "What?" I said, "You don't want to believe me this. I called you right back." And then I see these nuns. I said, "Excuse me, are you from Mother Teresa?" I said, "Yes." "You see, we're dressing like her." I said, "Okay, are you from India, Calcutta?" "Yes." "Are you on vacation?" I said, like, "No." So what are you doing here?" I said, "We live here." I said, "You live here where?" "Mother Teresa house." I said, like, "What? Mother Teresa house? Where?" "In Atlanta." I said, "You have a Mother Teresa house in Atlanta?" "I've been living here for more than 20 years and never heard that." I said, "Yes, it's on St. Charles Street on Little 5 Points. You're going to find us there. You can Google it. Mother Teresa house is going to bring you right there." So they invite me. 2 weeks later, I go to meet the Mother Teresa house. They made me speak with the Mother Superior. And when I'm talking with the Mother Superior, I'm telling my story and I show this picture. And as soon as I show this picture, she's like, "Oh my God, this is a miracle. This is a miracle." I said, "What's going on? This is not a miracle. This painting is for this guy." I said, like, "You don't understand." So she called everybody, "Hey, all the nuns, come, let's start praying." So I start praying the rosary. And I was scared. I said, like, "What's going on?" So I go on the floor. I sit down on the floor until they finish to pray. And then Mother Superior said, "God sent you here." I said, like, No. I met these ladies at Walmart. That's how they invited me. I said, like, No. God sent you here. I said, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "Look, I'm going to give you a scissor." So she opened a cabinet, grabbed some scissors, gave it to me. I said, like, "What is this for?" "Look behind you." So I look behind me. There I see a big box. Open the box. And I opened the box. It was 100 T-shirts with this image inside.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I said, that's what I'm saying. God sent it to you because we use that image for a camp. It's going to come in 2 weeks here. And we're going to try to save the souls of kids that are trying to commit suicide and alcohol, drugs, and that. So that's what we're doing. And this is a confirmation that we're on the right path. Another confirmation.
You've had so many confirmations. You've had so many miracles. Of course, you've got your book, Help from Heaven, and then you're writing a couple more just to share those all. And I think that's so wonderful, Carlos. Just real quick, before we leave, what is one thing you hope people take away from this today?
The most important for my story is to forgive. Because when you forgive, all that pain that you carry inside of you is going to go away. It's time for you to cut the stuff that's been in prison for so many years, you know? And it's time for you to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's time for you to start enjoying life. And it's time for you to start helping other people. Because this life is not about us. It's about to help other people. And my takeaway is trying to help your neighbor. Maybe you have a 90-year-old neighbor that she cannot pick up the leaves from the autumn, you know? Or maybe you have a friend that her husband died and she don't have nobody to spend Christmas with, so you invite her to your house for Thanksgiving. Or you have another friend that her husband divorced and she's alone by herself and she don't have nobody. There is so many ways that we can help others and we can give love and we can give this light that we have inside of us to other people. And that's what I want people to take away. You are a beacon of light and you're like a candle. You can illuminate other candles with your light.
That is beautiful, Carlos. In fact, this entire hour has been beautiful. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so grateful that you came to share your story.
Thanks to you for inviting me, and thank you for the people that is watching this program. And God bless you, everybody. And I keep everybody and you on my prayers, okay?
God bless you as well. Take care.
God bless you too. Thank you.
So many incredible stories. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you this because you saw it when you were listening to Carlos, but he is just an absolutely beautiful person. I have loved the opportunity to get to know him, and I'm so thrilled that he could come on today and share his stories with you. Just a remarkable human being that's doing so much good. I would love to know your thoughts on the things that he shared. I mean, there were so many things that stood out to me that were remarkable. I loved the idea that he was rescued by a dolphin, no doubt sent by God, all the other things that he experienced, so many miracles. And then just toward the end, when he talked about God being his manager, I love that. I really love that. I'm going to start thinking that way as well. So put your thoughts down of what stood out from his stories to you, and any kind of comment you want to leave for him. If you'd rather just say something simple like I made it to the end, all of your comments really help me out. So I appreciate that. And as you know, I also love connecting with you, and I try to get back to as many of you as I can each and every week. So thank you so much for all of you that week after week you will leave a comment. I appreciate your likes too. And if you haven't given it a like yet, please go ahead and give it a like and share with a friend if you know someone who would like it. And please subscribe if you haven't. Now, in the description, and you find that by clicking the little word more, I will have, of course, a link there to all of my episodes. Of course, I think I said a course. Of course, I will have a link there to all of my episodes there. And I've got so many past guests. So when you're done with this, there's so many others for you to watch. So please do that. Plus, I have new ones out every single week. And of course, come looking for me. You can find them at Beyond with Heather Tesch. They may not show up in your feed, even if you are subscribed. So please come looking for me every week. So I'll have a link to that. But of course, I'll have a link to Carlos, all of the things that we talked about, his charity as well, and then as well as his link to his website. And also you'll find a link there to his book. By the way, his book is also in Spanish, so you can look for that on Amazon as well. You'll find that there. And I also will have on there a link to IONS. I do want to mention that there's an IONS conference coming up. I go every year. It is just an amazing time. If you want to connect with like-minded people, it really is a wonderful place to do it. It's in Chicago this year. This is 2025, if you're watching it in current time. And it's going to be in Chicago. It's August 27th through the 31st. It really is a lovely, lovely event. And there's so many great speakers. There's some really incredible keynote speakers, very well-known names. Let's see, Raymond Moody, Bruce Grayson, Diane Hennessy Powell, Mark Anthony, and Carolyn Miss. They will be there. And then so many other speakers that are just people that have had these experiences, and they're there to share their story. You don't have to have had a near-death experience to go. I haven't. You just have to have a fascination to want to learn more, and you will love it. It really is an incredible conference every year. And if you're watching this after 2025, don't worry, there's going to be another great one that is coming up. So I will have a link to IONS in the description. That's the International Association for Near-Death Studies, ions.org. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Make sure to come looking for me next week. I've got more great guests that are in the lineup. And of course, you can always go to the description or to Beyond with Heather Tesch to watch my incredible guests from past episodes. You have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in the next episode.
Thanks for joining me on Beyond with Heather Tesch. Please add comments and questions you'd like future guests to answer. Also, if you liked what you heard, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. That'll help keep this podcast going. You can also go to Beyond with Heather Tesch to look for more episodes.